You came to LA this week to peek into the future. But if all you want is next generation, you're in the wrong place. Because what you'll see from Nintendo is not just next. Instead, it's what's absolutely new. What we're unveiling is the next leap in gaming, to a place where playing is no longer just about looks, it's about the feel. Where it's no longer confined to just a few, it's about everyone. And most of all, the next leap is not about what you see, because what you see is not always what you get. The next leap is about playing, because playing is believing. 2 years ago at E3, we pulled the curtain back on Nintendo DS, and many said, huh? Last year at E3, we uncaged Nintendogs, and many asked, really? Then 9 months ago at the Tokyo Game Show, we revealed how we, from Nintendo, will change game control forever. And a lot of people said, well, we'll see. Fair enough, because today you will see, and tomorrow you'll start to feel. Welcome to the next leap in gaming and Nintendo's 2006 media briefing, where we have answers to some questions, but deliberately not to all. Because our purpose this week is not to fill your left brain with information, but to jolt your right brain with inspiration. Let me start with a couple of questions for you. Do you know anyone who's never watched TV, never seen a movie, never read a book? Of course not. So let me ask you one more question. Do you know someone, maybe even in your own family, who's never played a video game? I bet you do. How can this be? If we want to consider ourselves a true mass medium, if we want to grow as an industry, this has to change. And today, change begins here with a new console, just as it already has with a new handheld. To let me explain, let me begin with what I'm guessing are a few of the main questions on your mind. First, the system. Why did you make it so different? And by the way, how much will it cost and when can I get it? Oh yeah, and what's the backstory about that name? And finally, what about the games and which developers are on board with us? As many of you know, Nintendo's way is to challenge conventional thinking, not just for the sake of doing things differently, but to do things better. The graveyard of any industry is filled with the headstones of companies who decided to keep doing things the same old way, playing only on the margin, making things just a little bit better. That strategy works for a while, but ultimately it's fatal. Over the years, our industry has come to accept progress simply by what's on the screen. I know many of you were in our audience back in 1996 when Super Mario 64 jumped to life in true 3D. And you said, man, that looks great. But that leap to a revolutionary form of gaming wasn't really about the looks. Even then, it was about the feel, moving your character and your viewpoint independently in any direction, all in real time. And the memory of that moment was also the starting point for Wii. In the same way that Super Mario 64 changed everything, we asked, how do we make games that feel entirely new all over again? This week, every one of you will feel our answer. As for date and price, we believe it's in our best interest to keep the details private for just a while longer. But for now, let me just restate that we will give you more fun for less money, and you'll be playing Wii in the fourth quarter of 2006. Okay, next, the name. First, we want to thank everyone who wrote good things about it the day you heard it. Both of you. But seriously, the response didn't surprise us at all. At first, every distinctive name sounds strange. Did you love Lexus the first time you heard it? How about IKEA? How about Google? Change is good. Wii from Nintendo means just what it sounds like. Wii. It's the sound of inclusion, the sound of every gamer you know and every new gamer who's going to join us. It's a giant leap for gaming, for everyone around the world. It's the sound of the future. As for the last question, what about the third parties? Well, we'll be talking about them in detail in just a few minutes and showing you much more on the show floor tomorrow. For now, let me just say that on behalf of the names you love from Nintendo and our partners, we can't wait to show you what's on the way. I think you may have recognized that last game. It's called The Legend of Zelda. But this one is different. It is by far the best Zelda game we've ever made. And it's also the most beautiful game Nintendo has ever made. But just as importantly, it's breaking precedent. Because this is the first Zelda game that will be right there on launch day alongside a new Nintendo system. How good is that? I know you'll make that judgment for yourself, but there's no better time for a first look than right now. So please welcome Nate and Bill from Nintendo of America to host the world premiere of The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, playing on the new Wii.
Thank you, Reggie. Good morning, everyone. Are you ready? Nate and I are very happy and honored to be able to show all of you exactly how you're going to be playing Zelda this year on Wii. Very basic control is going to be very familiar to anyone who's ever played a Zelda game. Your movement is handled with the analog stick on the nunchuck. Link's arsenal of items is going to be mapped to the plus control pad on the Wii remote. And Zelda's patented targeting system will be handled using the Z button, also on the nunchuck in the left hand. But the Wii version of Twilight Princess takes advantage, of course, of the unique controller. It provides new, unique, and intuitive feel to the gameplay. And that's what makes it great. The first thing you'll notice on screen in the Wii version is the presence of a fairy. This fairy indicates where you'll be pointing with the Wii Remote's pointer. You'll use this on a very basic level to access all of your menu screens, select your items. It's very intuitive, it's very nice, it's very easy to use, and I think you're all going to like it. But, you know, menus aren't that exciting, so why don't we get into some of the more intense battles? Your basic sword swings are handled using the B button on the bottom of the Wii Remote. But of course, not all of your enemies are going to be within reach. Some of them you're going to have to get at from a distance. And that's where Link's bow comes in handy. Like all distance weapons, the bow is going to be aimed using the pointer on the Wii Remote. Now, as Nate's showing us here, as you aim, there's a circle in the center of the screen. Within that circle, your targeting cursor moves independently. Outside it, the camera moves with it. The beauty of this control scheme is that it's intuitive. You know, there's no more inverted shooting, just point and shoot. And it adds realism to the game. It feels like you're actually aiming with a bow. It's not some controller. Now, with the bow, the Wii Remote also adds depth of sound. And this is where we can finally start to unveil some of the secrets that still remain about the controller. Built into the Wii Remote is a speaker. You'll hear the bowstring draw taut. You'll hear the flip of the arrow. And then you'll hear that sound travel from your hand to the TV, where that arrow will plunge into the chest of your enemy. That's depth of sound that no other controller and no other system can offer. And I know that other developers already have a whole lot of very unique ideas about how to take advantage of this feature. Now here we have Nate showing us some more intense battle. And as I mentioned, basic sword swing is on the B button. But you're also going to be using the motion sensing capabilities of the Wii Remote. A quick jab with the Wii Remote, and Link does a shield shove, knocking your enemy silly. And the great thing is you feel the impact of that shove with the built-in rumble feature. Now watch, oh, Nate's already taken care of him, so we'll do that later. With the boomerang, you'll also be using the pointer to aim. So what we're going to show you here is some basic Zelda puzzle solving. It's the same type of thing that you've come to experience in Zelda games, the same type of thing you've come to expect. Twilight Princess is going to feature a great deal of it. And of course, the classic Zelda chime is also going to be heard on the speaker on the Wii Remote.